everybody, my name is Eric Hopkins, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're finding me for the very first time, please click that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get all the notifications about when I put up new content right here on this channel. So I thought I'd do a quick review for the Jungle Cruise movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt, and I thought I would do a little bit of my thoughts on it here. Before I get into my spoiler review of it, I thought I would talk about just my general thoughts on it for sure. I like the film. I'm not going to lie, it's not my favorite film in the world, absolutely. I don't think anybody was looking at this film and thinking, okay, this is going to be the best film ever out there, for sure. But I thought for a film that I got to watch at home, I thought it was a good thing. You know, being it's available on Disney Plus via Premier Access, I think it's a good film to check out in that regard. Now, would I pay a ticket probably to go see in the theaters? I probably personally would wait if I were you to maybe rent it or, you know, until it comes on a streaming service, for free. I don't think it's necessarily something you need to go, spend your hard-earned money at the theater for. However, if you choose to do so, by all means, it probably looks absolutely spectacular on the big screen because all the stuff they did in the Amazon, some of the special effects, while not the best in the world, I thought it, did a good job of bringing the Amazon to life, and I thought it was really cool how they did all that. I thought the chemistry between Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt is very, very good. To me, it just felt like this film felt like Disney was trying to recreate Pirates of the Caribbean, the Mummy franchise starring Brendan Fraser, and a little bit of Indiana Jones thrown in there, to me personally. So if you could take all three of those franchises, roll them up into one, you get Jungle Cruise. So that was kind of my overall thoughts on it. Now, I like the film, like I said, but there are a few spots that I thought maybe it went a little bit long. It did a few things that necessarily didn't need to do. And even a few times I kind of, being at home on my couch, I kind of felt like I wanted to nod a little bit. But that's not any detriment on the film. That was more me, watching it at home in the comfort of my own home and things like that. If I were to see this in a theater, I probably would have been wide awake for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun little film, so check it out if you want to check it out. But so with that being said, I'm going to get into my spoiler thoughts here. So if you've not seen the film yet and you want to check it out before you get into all the, reveals and things like that happen in the film, go ahead and check out now and then come back and watch the rest of this video once you've seen it. Okay, so like I said in my non-spoiler section here, I thought the film was a lot like The Mummy, the Indiana Jones films, and of course Pirates of the Caribbean. The Mummy especially, in my opinion, I thought, because with Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, and I can't remember who played her nerdy brother. But anyway, that's basically what this film is. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is the Brendan Fraser, action hero sort of thing, even though he's really not an action hero in the film, but he kind of plays that role. Then you got the nerdy librarian, bookworm type character in Emily Blunt, who also turns out to be a complete badass. So, both of those characters are ripped right out of The Mummy. And of course the snooty, brother who, wears all the, expensive suits, doesn't want to get dirty and all things like that. Again, it's just ripped right out of the Mummy franchise. Not to say that that's a bad thing, because I personally love those three Mummy films, especially the first two. The third one, when Rachel Weisz didn't come back, I didn't care for it as much. But the first two with Brendan Fraser, they're a lot of fun, and those movies are 20 years old now, for crying out loud. Wow. So I thought it's taken directly out of that. When it comes to the Pirates of the Caribbean, it's basically, these conquistadors are looking for what's known as the tree of life, basically, which is bringing, the tears of the tree, so to speak, or the flower petals or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was something about tears. But anyhow, there was something about this tree where the petals on the tree, were able to bring healing powers, so you can actually, heal any sort of ailments throughout the world, and you can actually, change civilization with this power. So it's kind of like this thing where, in Pirates of the Caribbean, we're like, we got to go find the Fountain of Youth, or we got to go find this ancient, myth, and, it turns out to be real. And, they spend the whole movie looking for this, MacGuffin. So I think in that regard, it's definitely, Pirates of the Caribbean. And it's right down to the fact that apparently, way back when there was some conquistadors who tried to look for this, this tree. And of course, they got cursed. And of course, they have to stay, within the river limits in the jungle and things like that. So it's basically like when the Pirates of the Caribbean, had to stay, or at night in the moonlight, they were basically the undead. They were just skeletons and bones and things like that. It's pretty much the same thing here. You had all these characters looking dead and completely cursed. All the way dressed to the nines. So again, it's stealing from Pirates of the Caribbean. And there's even a certain character who's, believe it or not, German in this movie, who's also looking for it because it's set, I believe, during the time of World War II and things like that. So if I remember correctly. But the German character is looking for this because, of course, he wants to keep it to, win the war and be, this German, hero, so to speak. And it's basically ripped right out of Indiana Jones, where, the Nazis were trying to find the Ark of the Covenant and use it for their own advantage. It's sort of the exact same storyline. They ripped it right out of those three films, and they just kind of threw it all together and said, here you go. And, of course, you throw Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt in it, it's going to sell tickets, right? Dwayne Johnson alone himself can sell this movie. And to be honest, I thought Dwayne did a great job with it. I did like where the twist of the film where he basically, you think he's just this, skipper, and he's just this guy throughout the Amazon here, and he's taking Emily Blunt to find this tree. But then you find out midway through, he's also one of the cursed members of the crew who were trying to find this tree from way back in the day. And of course, he can't die. So, it's an interesting dynamic, but he was one of those who didn't agree with what those people were trying to do. So he tries to stop them from getting to this tree, and he's kind of been watching over the whole area ever since. So I thought that was a nice little wrinkle that they threw in here. But yeah, I thought overall it was fun. I thought the CGI was a little wonky. I did like the cat Proxima. I thought that they did a great job with. I think it was a tiger or whatever it was. It was some sort of big, jungle cat that Dwayne had as his pet. The character of Frank, obviously, and I thought, Elizabeth Blunt's character of Lily. I thought they had a great dynamic where they kind of slowly start to fall in love. That's sort of that old motif, and things like that. So I thought in that regard, I thought the film was very entertaining, and the action was pretty good, all things considered. It did kind of drag a little bit, some in the middle, trying to tell some of this heavy exposition and things like that. But overall, I thought it was a fun little film. Not something I necessarily pay my hard-earned money to go see in a theater. But again, if you're going to check it out on not HBO, if you check it out on Disney Plus or something like that, I think it's worth your time for sure. And it's something that I think the kids could actually enjoy as well. It's a fun little adventure. Just try not to take it too seriously. Try not to overanalyze it too much, and I think you'll have a little bit of fun with it. But the real question here is, guys, what do you guys think about Jungle Cruise? Did you guys enjoy it? Have you guys seen it yet? And if you haven't, are you looking forward to it? Please, by all means, comment down below and let me know. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get all the notifications about when I put up new content right here on this channel. And until my next video, guys, take care.
Target